At a little over a year of ownership now, I think it's time we do the 5 things I love and the 5 things I dislike about the M3 CS. Let's dive in, starting with number 1, the exterior styling. Everything from the matte blue finish to the aggressive lines that you see here on the fender vents, the hood, the power dome on the hood, even the front bumper. They did a really nice job in making a 4-door touring vehicle have an aggressive, sporty look. At number 2 of the things that I love about the M3 CS, it has to be the interior. The white stitching on the black leather of the dashboard, to the use of Alcantara not only on the steering wheel, but even as an interior trim accent. They really knocked it out of the park with using mixed materials that just flow so well together between carbon fiber, leather, everything is covered in leather. The two-tone seats are a really nice touch, giving that European flair. It just really ties it all together between the front and the back seats. And the use of the BMW M Sport colors is done in a very tasteful manner, between the logos with the coloring on the centers of the seats to the embroidery on the headrest, along with the M color stitching not only on the Alcantara racing steering wheel, but also on the seat belts. Now, number 3 on my list of things that I love about this car is the handling. It just grips that road so well. As I come around the turn, it just holds the road so well. Honestly, probably by far one of the best handling cars BMW has made to date. I wish I still had my E92 to compare it to. I once had one of those. That was a fun car. But even with that being a coupe, and this is 4 doors, I think it handles better. It's just a really well-balanced car. I mean, I'm gonna rip it around here. Let's see. Yep. And then here's an S-turn. Oh yeah. Oh. Right through that. Here we go. Another bend. A little narrow bridge. Oh yeah. And around the bend we go. Yeah, this handling on this car. It's great. Number 4 on the list is Rarity. This car is a rare one, with only 78 made in the frozen blue and somewhere in the 500 range for the model year of 2018. You probably won't see another one when you roll up to your local car meet. Number 5 on the list of things that I love about this car has got to be these brakes. The carbon ceramic M Sport brakes are phenomenal, giving you supercar-like stopping ability on your daily driver. And as a runner-up on the list of things that I love about the M3 CS has to be its sound. Now, this is something that's highly contested and argued. People have said that the F80 just does not have the sound of that of the E90 and E92 back when they had the V8 motors. However, it sounds absolutely amazing. Nice. So now that we got the 5 things I love about the car, let's get in a little deeper on this and talk about the 5 things I'm not so fond of. So number 1 on the things that I dislike about this car are the carbon ceramic brakes. Surprisingly, they are great performance-wise, but practicality-wise, totally overkill, totally unnecessary. They squeak, they kind of make a murmur noise sometimes. They have these on Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Does your daily driver really need it? Probably not. If you're going to the track every weekend, maybe you have an argument then, but at the cost of $8,000 of an option for this vehicle, it's pretty unnecessary. Coming in at number 2 has to be the price. And although now on the used market you're starting to see some fairly affordable, at a sticker price of $114,000 fully loaded, I just don't believe it's worth it when you compare to other cars in its class. Dislike number 3 has to be things that feel dated, specifically the gauge cluster. At the price point this car is, one would expect a digital gauge cluster. Additionally, when the F80 came out,
they did not have touchscreens. And so although BMW added a touchscreen, the design is quite band-aided for the user, being that you have to stretch really far forwards in order to reach the touchscreen of the nav.
So coming in at number 4 on the things that I dislike about the M3 CS, surprisingly, is the Frozen Dark Metallic Blue 2 paint. Why? I know you're probably surprised because I love it too, but the thing I dislike about it is the concern when parking in a public place. It's a $5,000 option on this car, and it's one of the leading reasons why I got this car. However, to respray or repaint an area that's damaged is far more than $5,000. And so it's very nerve-wracking when you go to park this car in any sort of public parking lot setting. I would probably never again get a matte car unless it was a weekend cruiser / exotic because of my just concern and anxiety for parking it anywhere that's public.
Number 5 on my list of dislikes for the M3 CS has to be how BMW took a page out of Porsche's book where you pay more for less. They stripped out things like the center armrest and the rear vents for the AC for rear passengers as a way to save weight. Paying homage to the 90s CSL, BMW replaced the digital climate control for one that was analog. And as you can see as I flip around between modes, unless you put it right to the icon, you're kind of left in this weird in-between state. And in an effort to reduce weight, BMW had stripped a variety of things out. Yet they decided to leave in things like the rear privacy screen along with the rear side window screens. And what seems to come equipped almost on every new BMW now, BMW stripped out keyless entry from the M3 CS for weight purposes. And lastly, BMW removed blind spot sensors and only included parking sensors and a rear view camera. However, there's no front-facing camera, nor 360-degree camera. And the dislike runner-up has to be the fact that BMW somehow overlooked putting M stripes only on the front seatbelts, yet not on the rear seatbelts.
And so there you have it, the 5 things I love and dislike about my M3 CS. Now, this car has been an absolute pleasure to own. As BMW says, it's the ultimate driving machine, and I truly believe that. This is one of the rarest M3s out there. It's an amazing performer. If you ever have the opportunity to own one, you should definitely get one. But as the saying goes, out with the old and in with the new. This M3 CS is off to its new home very soon, but I won't spill all the beans just yet, so stay tuned, more adventures ahead.